Welcome everyone. This is Pine Grove News Live. 6:03 p.m. Getting a little late start here. Had to turn my air conditioning off so that you all can hear me okay. And we are actually live this time. I think I'm figuring things out, but anyway. So I hope everyone's doing okay. This day and age, not too many people are doing okay. Uh, you know, anyways, I did a little research over the weekend, and we're going to look into that briefly. Don't plan on being on here long. It's too hot, so I can only stand, however long it takes. Of course, I say, a short time, and it'll probably end up being an hour like that every other time. But this research I did, because I said I was going to, and I actually did, and that's amazing. Got some stats about how many people, actually pass away from other things beside COVID, like the flu, like cancers. I mean, there's multiple cancers that people die from, AIDS, car accidents. So I got, just a little bit of that stuff. And in comparison to what they're calling a pandemic and a worldwide, it's a travesty anytime somebody dies. People lose loved ones, people that they've loved, trusted, talked to, was in their lives. So of course it means a great deal when something, those people pass and they leave us. But I mean, I would probably still be devastated if I lost anybody pretty close to me. Yeah, for a day or two, and then periods of, times when I'd miss them and wish they were still here. But I know where they're going, hopefully. Um, and so I have to look at that. That is that it brings you can bring you a lot of peace, and it has for me of late anyway. But in any case, yeah, just so you know, CDC, okay, anything that they talk about, uh, they only recommend, right? It's not, as far as I know, no law has been passed to to do any of these things. And so why businesses, I wouldn't. I would keep my doors open until they came and forced me shut without a law, unless they went and passed a law. But they can mandate, and I was going to go look up mandate and look up CDC guidelines and what actually that means. And um, I'm not sure what it means, except that in most cases it's not a law. Um, so, anyways, I want to go read this that you probably will not see on my monitor, and this is the Fair Use Act first. Let's do that first. So, warning, FBI warning, federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization from the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for the purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. And so I don't know why it doesn't post that, why my computer doesn't see that, and it gets put out there with my video. But it might go on my video, but I don't know. I will have to check that. I don't think it did the last time. But in any case, so it's only recommendations. I only bring that up because, first of all, do you remember that one lady who opened up her business early? She, I guess it was a salon, hair salon, and she was actually given 7 days in jail for opening it up early, even though it's not a law. Okay. Um, Somebody out there is threatening, and I think it's Colorado. Yeah, Colorado. Here we go, folks, from End Time Headlines. Colorado town threatens a year in jail for residents who refuse to wear masks. And they're against the law. Well, let's put it this way. The only thing that I found that it's against the law to wear masks in or is in a protest. Because the whole law was made just for the Ku Klux Klan. You know, you remember them and their white little pointy dunce caps? Yeah, that law was made so that people who were in protest couldn't wear masks. Of course, nobody was arrested for that during all those protests. And, you know, what is it? Antifa and BLM, both of them or one of them, are very well known for wearing their masks. Might have been Antifa. But, yeah, they're all wearing it now. And it is against the law, and nobody is being arrested for that. But we're going to throw people in jail for a year for wearing masks. In California, if you go out in public without wearing a mask, they can fine you. I don't know, according to my source in North California, that anyone's actually been fined. Of course, I guess you could go look up town records to find out that. $1,000 if you're written a citation. And there's no law that we know of. Yeah, so you remember that couple? The couple that stood up, the one guy who had the machine gun in his hand and the missus who had a handgun in a nice old colonial style house, and I forget exactly where it was. They had their guns confiscated, and they're trying to do other things with them as well. St. Louis, I guess it is, on June 28th. You know, the video obviously went viral, and he's actually been on TV, mainstream media, and talked about it. They even have a law there in St. Louis to be able to carry a gun. They have a what do you call that? Carry permit, conceal and carry, something like that. So, but their guns were taken away, and more may be coming their way. Crazy, crazy world we live in. Everything's upside down and chaotic, and you know who's the prince of that. Yeah. So, what else did I want to bring up here? Boy Scouts filing bankruptcy in order to avoid the indictments and lawsuits that are coming their way. And of course, courts are flooded with lawsuits over voting procedures and these mail-in ballots and whatnot. And as I'm watching over my corner of my shoulder here, also following that Washington Redskins name for the football team, the professional football team, and here's another thing that's just totally crazy, man. I mean, we're going to end up changing. I don't see how it's going to be possible to change everything because we normally named stuff after stuff, okay, or after people or after incidents. We're going to be doing this forever. Anyways, so apparently this was tried before, and none of the teams changed their name. I mean, you got the Kansas City Chiefs; they wanted their names changed. Dallas Cowboys, Washington Redskins. What was the other one? There may be one or two more other ones, but now it seems Washington Redskins may be changed. Even after a poll out there that said 90% of Native American Indians don't care. It doesn't bother them at all. As a matter of fact, a lot of them come back and said, yeah, I'm kind of proud that it's named after the Redskins, that football team. Doesn't bother me at all. And yet that small percentage, and this is how this whole thing started, just 3 or 6% of this LGBTQ thing, took off, and now a storm, has unfolded, and it's just, getting more severe, worse and worse. So I just wrote down a note. Many are incapable of hearing the word. I don't know exactly where that was said, but it was said over the weekend. I just wrote it down, and it is so true. Also heard about mob mentality. I mean, once a mob, whether it's true information or false information or whatever, once a mob gets, a point stuck in their head, it doesn't matter. The rest of the mob, and growing will believe the same thing, whether it's, whether they have come there before and not believed what this particular truth, what they're doing, but now they will because of the mob. So I don't know what, it's just something I heard over the weekend, someone being philosophical about the whole thing, and kind of crazy that I would never consider myself doing that. Going to watch a mob that was tearing things apart. How it ever, would occur to me to be a part of that, to do the same things that they're doing at this time in my life. No way. I can't see myself just because of a mob. I'm not part of the mob rule. I never have been. I've never gone, with the grain. I've always gone against the grain. I've always been different. I don't know. Anyways, and it hasn't always been fun. It's not fun when you're different. No. So in any case, just a warning. Wages Wars came out with a video. I heard today. I think it came out with it yesterday, though. Something about a flare coming our way for the 14th, which is tomorrow, and the 15th. Today's the 13th, which is Monday. So things may be affected, power lines, frequencies, radio, telephones, it could be affected. So just in case, so you don't panic, for Pete's sake. Yeah, don't panic. So I just want to get some of this other news out of the way, and then we'll get right to the numbers, the data that I collected. Iranian petrochemical plant set ablaze after the latest explosion. I don't know what's going on either, folks, but last time we checked, supposedly Iran was hacked in their nuclear facilities, and it wasn't the first time. I believe they were hacked in the beginning of their endeavors to create nuclear power, fission, in any case. So those things are going on over there. Things are picking up. I believe Turkey is out on the waters doing something, causing trouble, running, maneuvers, practicing, whatever they do, next to Libya, Egypt. Anyways. Yeah, nothing like while everyone's in chaos, nothing like trying to get your goals, done while everyone else is in a frenzy doing something else, totally out of the loop, locked in your houses. So, folks, we probably have known this for a while, but they are going to try to legalize pedophilia. Talked to someone about it. I talked about it the other day, actually. Surprised that she knew anything about the this particular um, garbage. So, anyways, an educational pack, an LGBT educational pack that features 6-year-old engaging in sexual activity as pedophilia becomes normalized. Folks, this is not the first time, I hope, that you're hearing about this, because it's been going on for a while. You know about the after school library transgender book reading sessions. And, pray for the parents who bring their children there, because they're obviously off as well to think that that's okay. None of this is okay, but, these are the times we live in. And Jesus said that there will be times like Noah, when just before the flood. God back then gave the people back then, prior to the flood, 120 years to wake up and repent and turn around. And they didn't. They went on like every other day, eating, drinking, giving and in marriage, and just like everyday things, and never paid it a second mind. And so the world was flooded, was destroyed, except for the 8 souls. And many people talked about in the Bible, that it will be again. That the days of Noah, and these are the signs that we to look for, that just like with the days of Noah, and go back into Genesis, read your history, and that's what the Old Testament is. What was going on back then? I mean, a lot of things. And you had the giants back then too, fallen angels, the offspring of the fallen angels, I should say, Nephilim and all that other stuff. But they've been. I was talking to my daughter about this, and I said that a lot of places claim that they do not have to get, in touch with the parents. And well, she says, well, they did for me when they wanted to do something about sexual education with her 8-year-old. And my daughter was informed, and she absolutely did not agree to it. A lot of other people did. So the British store promoted pedophilia, and schools punished it as curriculum, or pushed it as curriculum, sorry. Didn't punish them, which they should be. Yeah. There's a lot of things that are starting over there, either in California or in, Britain, UK. These packs are distributed by pro-LGBTQ organizations, diversity role models. The educational packs contained explicit sexual material advised towards primary and secondary age school children. Parents quickly realized that the material objectifies young children and normalizes pedophilia. So the School Alliance and other child-oriented organizations in the United Kingdom raised serious concerns about ADSA's promotions, because they conditioned children to accept pedophilia as a sexual orientation and promoted sexual activity for young children. Schools should, they've been trying to do this for a long time, and they have a good foothold into the family. They've been trying to either tear apart the family or get themselves involved in the family for a long time. And it has everything to do with the children. Control these children and program these children to believe just about anything. And they've been doing it for years now with this Common Core stuff. They bring home these math problems that you're supposed to solve a certain way. And you can't ask the parents how to do it, because I've never seen how they have to, they have to break the work down like we had to do. But it's nothing like I've ever seen. And I've had other parents have no idea how to they do it or how to do it in either case. So yeah, they've been programming your children. If you don't keep up on it, you'll never know about it till it's too late. Like you see a lot of these people, these kids coming out now and telling, saying how bad America is, and tearing down all these statues and how our history is just, anyway. So let's eliminate America's history, okay? Let's not remember it, and so we're not doomed to repeat it. Let's just tear it all down, erase it so it never happened, and then repeat it. Marxist BLM terrorists cut down memorial to 9/11 firefighters in New York. It's not about George Floyd anymore. Hasn't been for a while. Not with BLM anyway, and Antifa never has been. There goes the alarm. Dinner must be here. So in any case, regardless of what George Floyd did in the past, he didn't deserve to have the life choked out of him on a dirty Metropolis street earlier this year. Anyways, I don't want to get into reading. Just listen, it's enough to read the title for this one. Strange sounds. China faces disaster between now and September with a giant plague of locusts already invading the south. They haven't gone away, folks, those locusts. That would probably be considered apocalyptic. Yeah, I believe that is definitely in the Bible. Whereas job losses, what was that article? Job losses, businesses going out of business. I don't believe you can call that stuff apocalyptic. It's just, a tragedy for sure. And they're going to continue because you know what? Never seen a virus. Never heard of a virus. Nobody's ever mentioned anything about a virus of any type. I guess there may be some that can live through 90-degree summer heat waves, being warned all across America anyway. Extreme colds in other parts. I mean, the whole weather system is just off. And whether man did it or God's doing it, it's going to be done. Any case, man, yeah, I've never had or heard of a virus still being viable, still attacking people in record numbers each and every day, worse and worse and worse. Now, anyways, you know why people get it? Well, we won't really get into that. Why people only get the viruses in the fall? Anyways, God's going to come destroy this whole world with fire. Everything's going to just melt at his presence, and everything will be new again. Even the locusts will go. You really have to think about this virus thing being so potent, supposedly, that it can withstand the summer heats of 90 plus and humidities, well, over here anyway. If that doesn't wake you up to this either being a hoax and or man-made, then I don't know what will. Go do your research. Go search out the, what do you call it? The history of a virus. And it's not what the words I wanted to use for it, but anyway. Vicious storm triggers sea foam apocalypse in Cape Town and rare snow across South Africa. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard of snow in Africa, except for the past few years. Different spots, I'm sure, they've got very cold nights and very hot days. Has been powdered with snow and lashed by gale force winds over the weekend. Now, Cape Town streets are clogged with vast plumes of sea foam. Apocalyptic videos, apparently. Let's go check this out. Yeah, that was something, man. $13 seconds. That's just weird. Seafoam. Wow. All right, let's get to this data just very quickly, and then we'll get the heck out of here. Well, that's not it. I wanted you to listen to that, but so there's a few places, and that's why I've only gotten a little, because a lot of this is from the WHO or the CDC, which I do not want to go to. I want to get into other organizations, health organizations that are not related to these two. I don't know if that's can be done or not, but I'm going to look into it further. So according to this one, and I was looking for how many deaths in 1 year. In 1 year, and I think I picked 2019, and well, 20 is only just a hair more than halfway done. But according to this, and we remember the measles that they talked about, but that slowly went away. And this yellow fever, swine flu in Los Angeles. But anyway, didn't check out those yet. More than 140,000 died from measles as cases surge worldwide. And that was December 5th of 2019. So about a year and a half ago. So that was measles. Worldwide, more than 140,000 people died from measles in 2018. So you're talking, okay, 140 and 140. Kind of scary that you would get equal numbers as well. And pay attention, because there's other stats that are equally patternistic. I don't know, is that a new word? Patternistic. So I also went to Google, obviously, and deaths per year from car accidents. Nearly 1.25 million people, that's 1.25 million people, are killed in car accidents each year. That means on average, auto accidents cause 3,287 deaths per day. An additional 20 to 50 million people are injured or disabled. But let's just concentrate on the people dead. 1.25 million in car accidents. Besides, that's the leading cause. No, I'm sorry. That's the second leading cause of deaths for teenagers, college level. First being suicide. Yep. And this from Health, Explore Health. This is how many people die from the flu each year, according to the CDC. And so I didn't want to get CDC numbers because we know they mess with them. But here it is anyway. The official toll of 2019-2020 influenza season won't be known for months. Well, I didn't read that part. Let's see. This season, CDC estimates that as of mid-March, between 29,000 and 59,000 have died due to influenza illnesses. It's not just COVID. It's flu and other related flu influenzas. The flu is an influenza. Anyway, what else we got here? We can go to this one first. Cancer deaths. This is from 2010 to 2020. But here in 2020, we had, what was that? Death rate per 100,000. Let's see, cancer deaths. Anyways, they got it up to 630,000 in 1 year in 2020, and we're not even done with it yet. Here in 2019, 620,000. Now remember that number again, 620,000, okay? And the other ones were 140,000 times 2, okay? And there are other stats here that you could, you could just Google it, you know, other stats for other types of cancer and so on and so forth. What else we got here? Global HIV and AIDS statistics, 2020. Let's see, 25.4 million people were assessing antiretroviral therapy in 2019. I don't think I actually found a death number here. I believe when I first went over it. These are just global HIV statistics. Newly infected, living with HIV. Okay, people have died from AIDS-related illnesses since the start of the epidemic. So this is from the start of the epidemic. So you, I don't know, when was that? Back in the, I don't know, when was it? 80s, 90s? 32.7 million. It's got to be a heck of a lot more than that. And all these people living with it. What's this from the and the COVID death toll surpasses 100,000. First of all, that number is not even close to any of those other two numbers. 140,000, well, for the first two. And what was that? That was for measles, which they, didn't report and didn't think it much, but they do have 40,000 more deaths than COVID. And of course, we're still only about a month past the halfway point. But also, and then there's other things. What's this one over here? This is from people missing. I mean, I guess you could consider some of them dead if you never find out about them again, This is a big number. This is just a number of missing person files in the United States from 1990 to 2019. And they get specific here, down here, 2019. Here's the bottom number, 600,000, okay? 2019 was 609,000. 2018, 612,000. Is that a pattern? Where else did we see 600,000? Where else was that? You remember that though, right? That was it wasn't deaths. Was that deaths from cancer? Anyways, that's like the third category, where 600,000. That's per year. That's 600,000. Okay, 600,000. 140,000, and then we get into the suicide rates, and these things are just off the charts. It says it's the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S., but I don't believe that. And it's going to get worse because people have no hope. They just see the things going on. They see the injustice and the chaos, and it's just something they've never experienced before, and it's just all bad. It's just all bad. And they don't have hope. I mean, Americans died by suicide. Just in 2018, it was 48,344. In 2015, suicide and self-injury cost the U.S. So who cares about how much it costs? But I don't know. I think we're in 2020. Last year's stats were staggering. They were up a lot. And you're talking about number one, death to college going people were suicide. That was the top one. Second being car accidents. And the military are committing suicide in record numbers. Okay? And this is just a partial category that I could think of in 15, 20 minutes that it took me to gather this information. I know it's all over the place, but I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to do something besides tell you. I mean, just go look at it. Come on. There are a lot of people dying every year from many things. And 600,000, I mean, where the heck was that? Yeah. Just missing persons alone. 600,000? I know some people talk about that once in a while, but you don't hear about that too much. 600,000 per year. And look at all these other years back in 1995. How many? 954,000 disappeared, missing persons, gone. And I know we can get, take a few of them and say, well, yeah, probably just, ex-wives, ex-husbands, whatever, boyfriends, girlfriends, teenagers. I mean, of course, then you can get into the human trafficking part of it. Probably has a lot to do with these missing persons. In any case, I just wanted to show you that these numbers out there, I mean, you're talking, the government is just concentrating on something that we've gone through before. And these numbers, I mean, maybe that's why they don't come out with all these other things. I mean, they do, but they don't put it out there and plaster it over the mainstream media screens and over the radio and tell you got to take cover because of it. I mean, if you did that for every category here, I mean, we probably wouldn't even produce. We'd be dead already because we wouldn't multiply like the Lord said. Be fruitful and multiply. Well, seems to be that, powers that be are trying to put that into an end too. Sterilizing the men and whatever babies that get through, they're miscarrying. Or other things like that. If you don't think that we're in the end times and that you must know that we need help. We need help to get out of this. Mankind just cannot give peace or hope to mankind. They're just flawed. There's something, wrong here. And you must understand and you must know that there is a need for something else. And a lot of people think, especially with these suicide numbers, you think that there is nothing else. And this is why these people do these things. This is why I attempted it twice. At least twice, I think. Maybe 3. But anyway, we think that there's no other way out. But there is. And I was stopped 2 times and there was a reason for it. There is hope. That's all I have to tell you. There is hope, and all you have to do is pray about it. Go and because you must ask yourself many questions when you're depressed and you think that there's no more hope. I'm sure you ask yourself many questions. Oh, what can I do? To get out of this this mode. I mean. There's got to be something out there, but there isn't. But there is. There definitely is. I mean, you must have asked yourself, well, God, if you exist, you can come and get me out of this. Well, don't you forget, you just keep praying and you make sure you listen to him because he will get back to you. He got back to me. I know he's gotten back to many people. You need to listen. You need to stop and take a deep breath and listen. Just be quiet for a little while. Listen. I'm sure you have. You need to listen longer as well. Anyway, there's hope. He's the hope. He's the King of hope. He's the King of kings. You're God. Go talk to him. Go pray to him. I'm telling you, that's your hope. That's your salvation. He came here and died for you, for your sins, so that you can be saved. So don't you think that there is no other place to go. You can always go to God, go to Jesus. You can always do that. Are you worried about being embarrassed or humiliated in some way because you're talking about God and Jesus? I don't know. Your friends might not like you talking about Jesus, but look at the point you're at. You don't care about them anymore, do you? Or else you wouldn't be killing yourself. Or you wouldn't be thinking these thoughts and getting depressed. Stop letting other people control your lives and take control of yourself. You have control, and Jesus will help you along the way. He is the Savior. He saves, and you can be saved. Just need to respond to him. Need to, talk to him. Pray to him. However you want to call it. Go in a closet. Get by yourself somewhere and just talk to him. And listen. He will answer you. He's answered everyone that I know who's asked. Anyways, have hope, people. Have peace. And Lord willing, I will be back Wednesday. So with that, God bless everyone. Peace out.